Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're doing a far less formal video for you today. I've had quite a few formal ones recently, so I think it's time to mix it up. I do like doing a little bit of a mixture of those types of videos, but today I wanted to kind of loosely cover what I do to prep my houseplants for spring. This isn't going to be a big structured video. I'm going to go through things very generally, but I do want to hit a few points and get a little bit honest with you about what's going on in my collection. I don't know if any of you would have noticed this. To be honest, it's kind of in my own head and I don't think anybody else would have picked up on it. This 2022, I guess from like April, May of 2022 up until now, I haven't had or felt that much fun with my plant collection. I don't know if other people are feeling this or not, but I just kind of fell out of love with my collection, to be very honest with you. My plant care and how I deal with this hobby has basically for a very long time now has just been about basic, don't let this plant die, you know, watering every week and a half, letting plants just go and do whatever they want. If they're dying, they're just dying. They're kind of staying there. I just haven't really had a lot of fun with it. I think it got to a stage where I was maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed. A good way that I realize now is to kind of mix up your collection, buying and selling or trading plants, getting rid of some so that you can get new ones in. I definitely have an issue with getting rid of plants, and that's probably a much deeper issue than we're going to get into in this video, but I have trouble letting go of them, especially when I'm able to care for them or care for them well. I kind of don't want to get rid of them, which is something I want to get over. Ironically, I don't know if any of you feel the same, but I will sooner give up on a plant and let it die than get rid of it when it's healthy. And I don't know why that really is. But I'm very aware now that that side of stuff is really stopping me from actually enjoying this hobby. I do think that making YouTube videos definitely changes your relationship to it a little bit, because I do see it as, I don't know, it's not like it's a job, but it's just sometimes when your content is basically surrounded over what you do with your collection, everything you do with your collection is an opportunity for a video. Now I do spend time with my plants outside of that, but if I'm doing anything like repotting or a project or whatever, I want to make a video about it because I do think it's relevant, obviously, to the theme of my channel. On top of that, something that I used to do very regularly with my collection was rearrange it. Play up with different locations of plants, take them all down, clean everything, put them back a different way. I used to do that really regularly, and I think that keeps even the same collection, whether you're getting rid of some or not, it keeps it exciting. Since we moved into this house, I haven't really done that once in this room. Any new plants I've had, they're like on the floor. It is messy in here. And I'm just being real with you, and that's why I haven't done an updated houseplant tour, which is still one of the most successfwith videos on my channel, and I think it's stupid that I haven't made a second one or updated anyone. But the real reason why is because I'm not happy with the way things are right now, and I don't want to like show people that. Not that I'm embarrassed, but it's just I don't like have that enthusiasm for it, and I don't want to make a video that I'm not enthusiastic about, really. So that's the situation. But what are we going to do about it? I've been thinking about it for a while, and to be honest, I kind of hate my plant shelves. That's one big thing. When I got these, if you have been subscribed for that long, if you've watched that video all that time ago, I only got these as temporary shelves. I never intended for these to be like my proper end setup. I hate the chrome. It's so against my aesthetic, as they say, but I just don't like it. It doesn't look natural. It just looks industrial, and I don't like that look personally. On top of that, I tried this thing with this wall. It's gotta go. I approach that with much more of a functionality in mind, and while I think it's a great idea for climbing plants, I hate the way it looks. I think it looks ugly, it looks unfinished, I hate the way the edge is not even. Like, I probably could put more time into that. We'll figure it out, but to be honest, all I want to do is take it off the wall. So I'm starting this video as a prep for spring houseplants, but also I'm probably going to be doing a couple of videos on this over the next while, because I do have a lot of plants. If I'm going to be changing things up, it's going to take some time. But the first thing I'm going to do is get them prepped for spring. That means taking stuff out and going through my spring prep checklist, which I'm going to go through now. But for future videos, I'm definitely going to be spending some time rearranging, but I'll document that for you. And if any of you are feeling like this about your plants, I think a lot of people in the pandemic bought shitloads of plants. It's 3 years later. What are we doing with them? Do we actually still love the hobby, or is it becoming more of a stressful thing that you're not enjoying? You really need to look out for that, because it's not that my plants are stressing me, it's just that it was not bringing me as much joy as it used to. Part of that is also not having the time anymore. I'm very busy. In general, how do I prep my plants for spring? Number one, I go through each single plant. Identify, does this need a new pot? Yes or no? Do I have a pot to put it in? Yes or no? If I don't, I write this on a list. So I can have a list of, you know, how many pots I need, what sizes should they be, etc., etc. If I have it already, I will repot it. I think it's a good time to start repotting now and getting them ready for the next season, since it's not so cold as it was. Number two, it doesn't need a new pot. What do I do then? I top it up with some soil or compost, or like basically refreshed nutrients into the soil. If the plant has been in the pot for over a year, it probably has depleted a lot of the nutrients that are in it. Now, obviously that's why we fertilize, but I always like to have some kind of a slow release situation going on, whether that be organic compost, worm castings, things like that. I will sprinkle this on the top layer of the plant. Well, number 3 and 4 are kind of tied together. I'll shower the plant. I will put it in the bath. Any of you plant people that have baths, how often are there plants in your bath? Because there are plants in my bath 24/7. I put them in the bath. I will put them under the shower. I'll shower the leaves. I will shower down the whole entire plant. Then I will clean the leaves / treat for pests. Now, I still haven't done a pest treatment video on this channel. It is upcoming on how I manage pests. I'm never pest free. I think it's unrealistic to have this many plants and think that you're not going to have pests, because you are. But basically how I manage them and how I make sure that they don't get out of control. Part of that is pre-treatment. So I will clean the leaves so that there's no dust on it. We can maximize our photosynthesis, and we can also treat for pests, whether that be with a horticultural oil or alcohol or whatever it is. This will prevent pests from happening, because in spring, that's when the pests come, baby. They are ready to come. So if we're not on top of it, they're going to take over. The next thing I will do is propagate or cut back. Maybe I don't want to propagate this plant. Maybe I have too many propagations going on. Whatever it is, I will cut them back. It's a great time to cut back your plants, because they're just kind of getting more light, they're getting more energy, they're much more able to push out new growth and recover from that over the next period. And it also makes them kind of free to explode in growth in the upcoming summer season. So I will propagate or cut them back. The next thing I will do is start fertilizing. Now, it's kind of whatever you prefer kind of a thing, but some people will fertilize throughout winter, because if you're indoors and you have lighting and all of that, your plants aren't going to know that it's like full winter in there. I fertilize sporadically throughout winter, but not a lot. Probably should do a bit more, but I just don't. But I will start to fertilize now in spring to get the plants and make sure they have enough nutrients for the upcoming growing season, all of that kind of stuff. I generally fertilize with something very light and organic. I use various different seaweed fertilizers that are found locally in Ireland, so that's my preferred method. And the last thing that I like to do for spring, that I was the big topic of the start of this video, is to rearrange my collection. Just make it exciting, get them up in the right spot that's going to allow them to really flourish, and that is kind of the last step that I do. So those are in general what I do to prepare my collection for spring. Now obviously when you have this many plants, this takes a while. This is like a process. I'm not going to overwhelm myself and try to do all of this at once, excuse me. I'm going to what I generally do is I split up the collection into areas, either into rooms, or obviously in this room I have most of my plants in here. I'll split it up into sections. I'll take one shelf at a time, take them all down, evaluate them, do all the bits, clean and put them back, and that's essentially it. So I'm gonna do a little footage for you in doing the plant tours and what I'm gonna start doing to, you know, start revamping my collection. This may be, as I said, over a series of videos, but that's kind of my plan, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to get back into falling in love with my plants and taking better care, and also just getting rid of ones that I just don't care about anymore. So I just wanted to film kind of the start of this process at least. You can see me, I'm just starting somewhere and going through each plant, like I said, cutting back, assessing whether they need a pot. If they do need a pot, they're going on my big long list, which has now been completed. But just for part one of this video, I've decided to actually split up the video into multiple parts. So this will be the first part, just telling you what my plan is, how I generally on paper would prepare my plants for spring. And then this is me basically starting that process. I think in the next video then, part two, I'm going to cover rearranging my entire collection. And then subsequent parts will be like a massive repotting session, and maybe some cleaning leaves and a pest treatment video as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of my approach. I just thought I would show you kind of the beginning, a bit of a teaser, I guess, for the next rearranging houseplants video, which is I've now actually completed, but I'll show you that next week or so. And yeah, so that's kind of it. I think when you just have this many plants, it just can get so overwhelming in a way that like you just don't know where to start, and there's just too many, and maybe you don't have the time as well. Like it takes a lot of time to go through everything, clean it all, and rearrange, and actually have the freedom and time to do that. So you know, it can be daunting, but you got to start somewhere. Look at this fucking crazy Rhaphidophora decursiva. It's actually so out of control. And it was just doing a big, long, leafless growth there. So I've cut that back now. But yeah, this is just, I mean, just being honest, this is what my collection has looked like. This is them in the bath getting a little bit of a shower, and this very blurry footage. But yeah, that's it. You'll see more in part two next week. That is it, guys. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope that you understand this is the why. I haven't like really shown my collection in a long time. I just haven't. I just kind of fell out of love with it, to be very honest. If you're feeling the same, maybe you can try some of the things that I'm doing, get rid of some so that you can bring more in, or just get rid of some so that you have less, rearrange them, spend time with your plants, do things that you just want to do, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby, it's not a job. For me, it kind of is a job with the videos, but you know what I mean. This is something that you should enjoy in your spare time, and if you're not enjoying it, you have to reassess it and find out why. Maybe you can change it, or maybe it's just not for you anymore, which could also be the case, and that's okay. I hope that you found this video useful and you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by interacting with the video in whatever way that you want. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so that you can be notified for my future videos, and just let me know if you enjoyed, because otherwise I ain't gonna know really. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy your plants, and I will see you very soon in the next video. So bye.